Hello, and welcome back, everyone, to the Villa Download Live. I am Dani here with Kimberly, and today we are bringing you something extra special. You know us for Love Island recaps, of course, deep dives and reality TV breakdowns, but today we are stepping beyond the villa.
We're talking The Snake, the breakout Peacock series that has everyone buzzing in the reality TV world. And not only just that, we have one of the show's most unforgettable players joining us live.
Hi, guys.
The casting, the gameplay, the alliances, the drama, and all the behind-the-scenes moments that made this show a must-watch. We love reality TV, strategy shows, or just must-see dramatic television at its finest. You're in the right place.
Now let's talk about our guest. She walked into The Snake and instantly proved she was made for reality TV. The producers may have called her low energy, so mistaken, in episode 1, but the truth, she had the whole audience electrified, especially me. From the box to the medallion to flipping alliances with a smile, she gave us iconic television, thank goodness, because there's barely anything going on TV, so bless you. She's smart, she's strategic, she's unapologetic, and she had the internet screaming, give this girl her own show. Please welcome the one and only Kethryn.
Hi. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you so much for joining us today. If you want to take the time to introduce yourself to the audience for those that may not be aware.
Okay, my name's Kethryn. I am the villain on The Snake, which is Fox's newest reality TV competition show. It's streaming on Hulu, so you can go binge all the episodes now.
Yeah, it is a really, really good binge, especially for my Bravo lovers. You know, there is barely anything airing right now, so binge, and you're going to want more afterwards.
The world needs more competition shows, and this one's so different than all the competition shows out currently. It was so exciting to be a part of it.
Yeah, I really agree, and it was a nice twist, so I appreciate the uniqueness, and it wasn't so cookie cutter like other
shows. I know. It kept us going. You definitely kept me going. I can't wait for us to get
good. I'm so glad to hear that.
So good.
Definitely.
But before we dive in, Kimberly, if you want to take it away.
Oh, definitely so. All right. So if you're here for the first time, we'll make sure that you hit the like button, subscribe, give this video a big thumbs up, and ring the bell so you don't miss our weekly lives and interviews. And share this link with your friends who love reality TV. And if you're catching up to the replay, just leave us comments and also leave your favorite moments with Kethryn and The Snake and the comment section so we can go ahead and address that. And hey, reviews and ratings mean the world to us. So please, if you're listening later, jumping on a podcast platform, give us 5 stars and spread the word. We really appreciate it.
Yes. And hello to Mo, who is also joining us as well in the chat. So good day, Mo. But let's sorry, my phone just messed up for a second. I apologize. But let's get into the questions. We have so much to go over with Kethryn today. So you've got this really interesting mix of tech and pop culture in your life, which I appreciate because so do I, which is the reason why I need these avenues to let out my creative side as well, because tech is not always creative. But how do you, Kethryn, those two worlds balance for you?
They don't. I quit tech and now I do nothing. And so I say they don't. When I was working in tech, I was miserable. And when I was working in finance, I was even more miserable. So now I'm pursuing more creative passions and own business ventures. So for me, doing anything creative, I've always been a really creative person. I love to paint. I love to draw. I don't know, any kind of craft. There's never been a hobby that I picked up that I don't like. Like I kind of like consider myself a collector of hobbies. Like that's my hobby is trying.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wow, and DIYer as well, making awesome furniture for your apartment. Congratulations on taking that leap. That must be some sort of weight off your shoulders a little bit too, I hope. So congratulations on that, Kethryn.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
And actually, I'm sorry. Oh no, it made me curious because with you talking about that, like your experience with getting on the show, so do you feel like that actually like propelled you to be like, okay, I'm going to shut down this tech culture world that I'm in right now and just pursue my dreams and tap into my creative juices? Do you feel like that really helped that shift?
Yes and no. I always knew I like was a creative and wanted to be on the more creative side. I think I've always chose the corporate route because I wanted to be stable. Like that was like I've been somebody like I've always just craved stability, and in the creative world that's so hard to come by. And I think this show is just giving me the opportunity to be able to pursue my creative side more, because I crave stability. I'm in the position right now that I can take the chance and do something more creative. So I'm really happy with that decision, and I think that fits my needs more.
Got it. So the interview process, was it different from like a regular interview process from like a job compared to like the whole interview process for the show? Like, were you recruited or how did that happen? Like, how did you land on this show?
I found the show because, back when Joey was The Bachelor, I followed a bunch of like producers for The Bachelor, and I messaged them for a referral, because like the best way to get on, if anyone wants to be on reality TV, the best way is to find a producer and get a referral. So I guess I still follow them after a while, and this one person posted, and I can't even remember what they were calling it, but they were saying, but it wasn't called The Snake because they obviously like they advertised it as something else. And when they had us on there, they put or when they had that flyer on their Instagram story, it said something along the lines of like the most manipulative people or most persuasive people in America. So I was like, I can do this. And I messaged, and I think one conversation with me, like I think they they're back for weeks, but then the second interview I showed them my list, like my strategy list. And I think like, I almost didn't show them because I was like, they're gonna think I'm doing way too much.
See, that's what I was wondering. Like, did you debate on like whether you would show them or not? Okay, so now you answered my question.
Yeah, I showed them that in my audition, and then so they had me read it from my phone in the confessionals. My favorite fan theory that I've had is people being like, I think the next plot twist is that Kethryn is AI. And I think because I made those because I was crazy, not because I was AI. So I just thought that was really funny.
Yeah. Oh. And great preparation on that as well. And I can't believe you even did that before casting. I figured you probably did that in between. And I just loved how you just took ownership of your gameplay and your wit, but in a non-corny, try-hard way, which I feel like so many reality stars come off. It was very authentic. So again, thank you for that.
Yeah, I think the thing is with me is that I love reality TV so much. I'm an OG Survivor fan, OG Big Brother fan. And I miss reality TV in the early 2000s when it was like messy and unfiltered before social media, and everyone was so scared about getting canceled. So when I went on the show, my approach was really, I'm going to go on and I'm going to say everything that's in my brain. And I'm not going to filter myself because I didn't want to play like a pretend part. Like obviously I went in knowing I wanted to be the villain. I knew that because I love watching TV villains, but I also can like separate my own identity from the game, that people are like, they were just authentically themselves. I'm like, in the game, I played a villain. Like that was a game, but I also contributed like my personal thoughts and twist them to like make myself the villain. So it was like, there was a lot of intention with it, but also a lot of unfilteredness. It's a really funny balancing act to explain.
I cannot even imagine. So did you have a TV villain that inspired you at all, Kethryn?
Oh my God. I think my biggest inspiration was Tony from Survivor and Parvati. And I love Tony so much. Tony and his spy shack and spy nest. There was a point in the house, I almost did this, and I wish I did now. In the kitchen, you can see like these huge drawers. And I remember like I was the one cooking breakfast for everyone every morning because I love to cook. And that's kind of part of like how I played into that good girl persona, was like being like the house, like cooked a lot. So when I would cook every morning, I remember like opening so many drawers and they were just empty. So I was like, I was like gonna hide and like go inside the kitchen drawers and listen to people's conversations. I couldn't get out and I couldn't really hear anything. So I was like, damn, maybe I shouldn't do that. But now I wish I did, because I wonder if I could hear. I wish I did.
Oh my God, that would have been hilarious.
You're thinking back to what you could have done. But this is like, you were made for this.
I think every conversation I had with somebody or anything that happened coming out of the show, you see things in such a different light. And there's so many things that I didn't think were fucked up then that now I am like, yeah. So. But
you were in it, like you were playing the game, and I mean, I'm still trying to figure out what stories you were telling, or I'm still wondering if all of it's fiction or even if it's true. Like, especially with are your parents really cops?
Yes, that part wasn't even a lie, and I hated that. So, I bonded with Garrett because, like I told you, like both my parents were police officers. That's how they met, and I bonded with Brian by telling him, my family, like they're all mostly like felons, and we laugh about it. Those things are both police officers, extended felons. None of that was a lie, but the problem was, and I think it was, is that when I was doing the show, I remember the producers a few days and be like, you got to tell us when you lie, because we don't know when. And I didn't really do that. I was like, well, whatever. I'm busy. I'm strategizing. And I did it. So I think they had to like guess.
Right. Okay.
They thought a lie was, but that was not a lie. And if you ask me what the lies were, don't remember anything that came out of my mouth. I look back now and I'm like, there's so many rumors that were going on in that house that I probably started, and people believe it. I'll own up to it and say if I did it, but I don't remember. So they could be true.
I'm sure it's like a blackout experience.
Yeah, sure. Fever dream. The whole experience was a fever dream.
I can only imagine. But what's so fascinating is I love the fact that it's like you said, and now it makes sense to me because you are an OG fan of like these reality shows, like Survivor and everything from like the early 2000s. That's where reality TV was real reality TV, where the characters came to life. And so now it makes sense to me. I'm like, you brought it. And it's like you brought it and I felt like you didn't go in there like self-produced and like all these things. It was so fascinating.
I will never ever do that. And I don't care how many people hate me for like the character I played. Wait, someone's pressing my intercom. Tap to unlock. Okay. I will never, no matter what shows I do in the future, I will never put on a persona or be somebody who is like overly produced, because I value just like authenticity so much, and I hate seeing people play a part. Like I love the messiness that comes with reality. Yeah. That's what we watch it for. So people got to stop pretending to be super sweet and innocent when I know for a fact they're not.
I love that, which is true.
Agreed. And that's what so many shows, I think, especially nowadays, are lacking. And maybe because social media is so large and rapid and all that good stuff, that people want to put on a show in hopes for larger things. But like I said earlier, it just comes off so inauthentic.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make the show be as great and as dynamic as it could be.
Yeah. Like OG Vanderpump Rules, like they could never create that now because people care too much. And
I know.
I hate that. So I'm never gonna be that person. And I think I'm also like I'm pretty good with like the hate that I get. Like, there's a Reddit page for the snake and we all go look at it. I delete it all the time because mental health, everything. And you see people just drag you and say horrible things about me on Reddit So I have to get myself to delete it a lot. So, but you know what? I think I've handled the hate pretty well because I know those people don't know me, you know?
Yeah.
And they also are seeing like 45 minutes of 500 hours of film. So they're getting snippets of things out of context. So they have no idea like who any of us really are. And they can't, and if you're hating for me for playing the game, like you're a little soft because like it's a game. Like you would have never survived like 2000 Survivor and Big Brother.
Not at all.
For sure. And then Kimberly, I know you and I were talking earlier and you were wondering about her and mental health leading up into it.
About mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, just overall, like, how do you prepare as you walk into a show like The Snake? Did you do anything to try to mentally prepare? I mean, obviously, you're from New York. You have parents that are cops. You are built a certain way. So there's always that, like, natural toughness. But did you have to do anything?
You know, I think for me, I didn't really, it's like, you know what you're walking into, but you don't. And I was so scared of not getting cast because I have anxiety. Like I have horrible anxiety socially and just in general. Like I've had it since I was about 11, and same thing with depression. And I was scared to tell the producers and like the health team that like I had depression and anxiety for the show because I didn't want them to not cast me. They would have, but like I didn't know. So I didn't tell them, so I didn't bring my medication. So I went off my anxiety medicine and depression medicine, which nobody should not do. Nobody should do that when doing a show, because I was having brain zaps in the middle of Argentina, just sitting there like, oh my God, like it was such a hole for me. And that was on me. Like they would have definitely allowed me to take my medication. But I had a lot of anxiety post-show, because I was worried that everybody was going to hate me afterwards. And when you go into the show, I knew I was going to play the villain. I was like, you know what? I'm meeting these people and I don't know them. Like, we're not going to be like the best friends. Like I'm only going to be with them for a few weeks. And you don't realize how close you're going to get with the people in this house. And I remember I would just sit in the shower and I would just cry because I was so scared that once people knew that I wasn't this sweet, innocent girl when the show came out, that they were going to hate me. And the reaction couldn't have been more opposite. Like, they love it and they were shocked, but like it was something I was having a lot of anxiety about before the show came out. But you know, it's all good. Like everybody, I'm still friends with everybody, and yeah. So no regrets here. I mean, lots of regrets, but that's not one of them.
That's awesome. Yeah, because we were wondering. I was like, how does she go into the lion's den, like for a show like this? Like, how do you prepare mentally? Like,
I was ready to
like, how do you face it? So
yeah, that's like really what it was.
And it explains why poverty is one of your favorites as well, because I don't think anybody looks at her in a negative way. Again, it's a villain you so love to hate because you have many layers to yourself as well, which makes a good villain. And there are those little sweet moments as well that are genuine that we see from you as well. And it doesn't seem to be all show. So I think that's just the reason why it just naturally works for you. But especially speaking of naturally working, you have really good fashion. Did you do anything to prepare getting into the show? I'm always curious about that. How did you prepare fashion wise?
Oh, fashion wise, I think I'm just like kind of a diva. Like I've always been that like girl since I was
yeah.
I love clothes. I had so many outfits that I didn't even get the chance to wear because they kicked me off, rightfully so. No, I just love clothes. So I didn't prepare that much like fashion wise, but I did prepare a lot. Like going back, I think I over prepared in the sense that I thought way too hard, and I watched every like really good season of Survivor and Big Brother's like gameplay. I went and watched and I took notes, and that's how I built the strategy list. And so for me going into the show, I was just like, I remember like before they took our phones, I was like sitting there reciting stuff in my head, but I have hundreds of things on that list. so I couldn't remember everything. So yeah, it definitely helped and hurt me over preparing, but whatever.
Oh my gosh, that's exciting. So you were single going in, and do you think your relationship status shaped your gameplay or your strategy?
I was not single going in. I've been in a relationship for a few years now.
You
with
weren't
my
you weren't
boyfriend.
okay,
It's okay.
got it.
I don't think I've mentioned that. And yeah, so I've been dating my boyfriend Michael for 2 years, and he's completely just the love of my life. And we had an agreement that if I needed to flirt to get ahead, I could do it. So I told everyone in the house that I was single. And I remember and I decided to take the flirtatious route because I don't think that gameplay was for me, especially when I met like the core four. I was like, these are like my brothers. I couldn't pretend to flirt.
Yeah. Oh.
Such a brotherly relationship, and I don't know how to explain that further, but I couldn't do it. I wanted to go a different route, and I'm very glad I did. No shade
Yeah, I
to
hear you.
the other Parvati route because I admire that so much in her. And I think when I got eliminated, I told Jordan right before I was gonna go, I was like, I have to tell you something. Because I lied to Jordan once, and I was like, only once. I was like, I have a boyfriend outside of this, and I was like, will you be my bridesmaid when I get married? And we had this moment.
Oh
Oh,
my gosh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love your two's relationships. I look forward to getting into that more and the sisterhood that you guys developed, which really allowed us to see a lot of those truly genuine, sweet moments.
She's the best. I wish we got to see more of Jordan and I's relationship because I think you really see what it looks like of me manipulating. But Jordan and I were always on the same page. We always knew what was up.
Got it.
And we were so inseparable. We were so close. So love that girl so much. Couldn't say better things about her, honestly.
Well, we need to get you guys on the Amazing Race or something as a duo.
Jordan and I would be so funny on the Amazing Race together, because we're so different. Jordan and I are so different, but we need each other to balance each other out. So
yeah.
No, it really would be. Yeah, now that processing
for
it,
sure.
yeah, for sure.
So now as the game starts, there's so many unknowns because this is a new show. While you know some of the premise, you don't know everything. You're obviously tough, but there's still fear, of course. So that infamous box, how scary was it the first time? Did the fear wear off at all as time went on?
Are you talking about the snake in the box?
Yes.
Okay, so for me, I grew up with snakes. I grew up in Georgia. So there were always snakes in our yard. My mom and I, we used to go catch them, and we would chase my dad, who was deathly afraid of them. We would go and we would chase him with these big snakes. Baby hated it. So the snake challenge didn't bother me. I didn't even get to touch a snake because mine had the medallion in it. And I remember I was praying. I was like, please let there not be a medallion in my box because I didn't want to be the first snake. Because in early shows, you see in Big Brother, the second week, they're really just looking for someone to get rid of for any reason. And being someone first, that is just enough reason to get rid of anybody. So I did not want to be the snake, but I wanted to be able to control who was the snake. So I took it from Devontae because, he was a poker player. I didn't trust the poker player.
Yeah.
Loved Devontae, though. And so then I told Brian because I knew I wanted to work with Brian. And I told him I had it, and I would have let him do that. But by doing that, I knew I would be gaining the trust of the entire group by telling the truth that I had it. So he didn't believe me. So I still got to be the snake and look like I was the good guy, which really worked out for me.
It was such a move. I was like, oh, damn, ultimate mic drop. That was an epic move. Epic move.
Yeah.
Awesome. So early on, you suggested that you had the medallion, and it turns out that you were telling the truth. So walk us through that decision and that whole thing.
I was in shock. None of us knew what we walked into with that show at all. So when I had the medallion, I was like, what the fuck is like happening right now? Like I have to sit
It's like, what's going on?
and I tried really hard to act like it was the hard, and honestly, it is hard. It is so hard sending somebody home first. I think it is worse to go home first than any other position on a show because you don't have a lot of chance, you know?
Right.
So I had to try to go with what would make the group happy and what would make sense for my game long term. And everybody wanted that one person gone. I knew she was a strong physical competitor. And I knew she was there to play the game seriously, and I did not trust her. And especially when she was going up against a sweetheart like Mac, I was like, do I want to choose the sweetheart who's really nice and honest, or do I want to send home this girl who's like incredibly untrustworthy in a wild card and everyone wants gone? Kind of not that hard to pick.
Oh, that makes sense.
So you had an epic first episode, and all of your episodes were really epic, which made it a little hard to watch it when you weren't there. I'm not going to lie. But hey, we were blessed at the end with a little bit more of Kethryn. Thank you, reality TV gods. But when you became the snake, Kethryn, did you immediately feel a shift in the game, or did that shift take time to settle in, especially because you guys had no idea what it is you were getting into? Can you explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, so it was a really big combination of things because when I was the first snake, I was like, I could tell who was kissing my butt and I could tell and it made me trust the people who weren't more. So I really was trying to sniff out who I could and could not trust. And I knew immediately I wanted to work with Jordan and Brian as my inner people, and Frankie and Alyssa. And the boys, I knew I wanted to work with them as as my fake pact, because I wanted to work with people. I wanted to work with the strongest alliance. And those three boys were a powerhouse. So I was like, I'm getting in with the powerhouse. So yeah.
Sweet. Okay, so this moment, reality TV gold, I think, in my opinion, you gave Kaylee your word, and then you flipped, and then, yes, craziness ensues. So, what did you did you think it would play out so dramatically on screen as it happened?
And I wish they showed more of why I chose to send her home. She and I had this long conversation by the pool, and to this day, I can't even tell you what it was about. But she was going off about so many things and telling me to send home someone in her pact. And I'm like, if this girl could switch up so quickly on her pact, what would she do to me?
Yeah, good point.
So that conversation was after me giving her my word. And you know what? You really can't trust anyone's word in a game like that. Stuff like that doesn't count. So I don't feel bad about it. I don't regret it. I know I made the right decision for my game.
Yeah, for sure.
Ooh.
Now, one of the most epic things about the show is yourself, Kethryn. And I'm not blowing smoke up your ass because we're interviewing you today. Truly, as a diehard reality TV star, you were epic. But the second most epic thing about this show is that there was a pastor on the show. What? A pastor on a reality TV show. So how was it competing against a pastor in this environment? I feel like I know the answer to this because of how I saw your gameplay. Did it bring guilt? Did it make it harder? How did you feel about his ultimate? I don't want to give away the show for those that want to binge, but how did you feel about how he played out the end of his gameplay? Your showdown was crazy.
To be honest, the first thing that I noticed when I got out of the box or the crate was there being a pastor. I was like, what is a pastor doing in a game of deception? So I really thought that he was a twist in the game was going to be he was a fake pastor. And I'm not the only one who thought this. There were so many of us who were like, it's going to be a twist in the game. So I thought he was a fake pastor for a long time. He's also the one who called me out for my BS, and then I made him to look out to be a liar when he wasn't. So sorry, Pastor Jacob, but Yeah.
Girl, if he's a pastor, he'll forgive you of your sins.
I know. He has. We talk to show. He and I are good. I don't have anything bad to say about him. So
Aww.
yeah.
Okay, that's good.
I love it.
But that was epic. Epic. Oh. And when we first heard the quote that you said about the Jesus or the Lord wanting him to burn, I was like, when I saw that, I'm like, oh my God, was he there for her to say that or not? So that made me feel a little bit better, but that will go down in the history books of reality TV villain quotes. So hats off to you, Kethryn. Hats off.
I saw that in the preview, and I didn't remember saying it, and I remember seeing it. I was like, oh, like that's bad. My parents are not gonna like that. My dad thought it was funny though, so it's fine. My mom's very religious. She did not think it was funny. So.
Oh my gosh! Especially being a Southern Georgia girl, I get that. I'm from Louisiana, so I know how they don't play about the.
Yeah, I thought my mom was gonna beat me for saying that.
Oh goodness! Oh. So, were you surprised at how your role played out at the end, and like how quickly like they came for you?
Yes and no. Like honestly, I knew I made a lot of mistakes in the game. The only thing I was surprised about was John sending me up. Like when John was the snake, I was relieved because we had made a deal with him before and we were going to work with him. And so I thought because everyone in the house wanted him gone so badly, I thought that he would have saved me because I truly was probably one of the only people other than Frankie and Alyssa who would have saved him at that point. And the only reason I would have saved him is because nobody liked him, so I knew he wouldn't win. So I am shocked that he made that decision still. You think he regrets it? Probably. Yeah, it was a dumb move on his part. I told him in the show, I was like, this move is going to cost you your game. And look, it did. I was right.
Oh,
so what happened between the time of them making the bad decision and production should have figured out something? So obviously we know production can't pull all the strings behind the scenes because you would have been on the show longer for all the scenes that you were stealing. But what happened, Kethryn? Where were you at between the elimination and the end of the show? Where were you able to see you again? What happened in that in between?
I was in a hotel room, still didn't have my phone. I knew I was going to be part of the finale. I didn't know what the finale was going to be. I didn't know who was in it until like going there. Like you don't know anything until you're going there, and you don't have your phone. So I was in a hotel room. I'd caught COVID, and so I was literally hooked up to IVs until the finale. And I was
wow.
Oh, that sucks.
In there, and I'm just like I didn't have COVID anymore. I was safe to be there, but like. I was just dead. So, yeah, I died for a few weeks and then I came back from the dead in the game.
And you looked good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That did that.
That's wild.
And then at the same time, you also had to deal with your favorite girl, Jordan. How did that feel? How did the way that her ending to the show, how did that feel knowing that she's like your ride or die?
Seeing her get to the finale, like I'm just like sitting there and I am so unbelievably proud of her. I think she's one of the best humans, like the pure soul. She's just a human like sunflower. So seeing her make it, incredible. Seeing her get eliminated, watching her cry, like I was sobbing just watching that. Like my friends were watching with me and they didn't even met her and they love her so much through me that like we're just watching just it broke my heart watching. And I knew what happened because I was at the finale, but that was it was harder to see that happen to her than to watch myself go home, in all honesty.
Yeah, it was so close. And she had so much writing on it and had so much heart and wasn't necessarily as backstabby as others, even though that is the premise of the show.
Yeah, and I mean, she's the only girl who got snaked twice, so she's a lot tougher than people give her credit for.
Yeah, good point.
True.
Very good point.
That is so true. So what was the hardest part about doing this show that like fans at home like wouldn't believe or like expect?
I'm just thinking about if I should be messy or not.
I know. I saw you thinking. I was like, oh, she's thinking about it.
It's the weekend. I mean,
honestly, I think the way that some people move after the show is like weird, and that's what really bothers me. That's the hardest thing is the aftermath. Like doing it in the moment, you don't think. Afterwards, you watch who people really are and how they handle things. It's pretty bad.
So what has been some of the reactions or movements you've seen? And you don't necessarily have to call anyone out unless you want to, but to generalize, what has been some of the movements that you've seen?
Well, I'll say some names because I don't care, and they
Go
should
for it.
because I don't care. Whatever. Christine, I think, is like the biggest liar ever. Like to the point where she like believes her own lies. You know those kind of people who like lie so much that they believe it themselves. Like she has completely rewritten history of like what happened in that house and why people dislike her. And I was the only people who liked her and was friends with her in the house. And I didn't see why no one liked her. But you know what? If everybody in the house has an issue with somebody, it's for a reason. And I didn't get it until I watched her interview because we met post show. We went out to eat. I thought we had a really great time. And then she trashes me in an interview.
No.
And you just talked to me about how you want to go to the Hamptons with me and how you want to do another show with me and how highly you think of me. And then you trash me right afterwards. It's just, she moves so weird. I don't get it. I'm like, if you had an issue with me, you could have just spoken to me and we could have aired it out, but you didn't. And I've had issues with people, and you know what? I've spoken to them, and I've aired shit out with them. I talked to them about it, but she doesn't do that. She will never talk to somebody and say, I have an issue with you. She will just talk about them in interviews, and that's weird to me. Like, if you have a problem with me, come talk to me. But if you're gonna trash me in an interview and expect me to be silent about what really happened, then you are like, you are so fake. And on top of that, I do also want to say that I love these two. There's two people I absolutely love to death, but I don't like the way that they've treated Jordan in a lot of ways. They've kind of left her hung to dry. And you see certain posts that are like, oh, I hope if it's not me that wins, I hope it's one of you two, and Jordan not being included. And I'm like, the only reason that they made it so far was because of her.
Right.
Yeah.
You can kind of get who I'm talking about, but like seeing that, like seeing how differently they treat her when she's done nothing wrong to them ever, and she's always had their back, and seeing them kind of leave her out to dry is really upsetting, honestly.
Oh, and she's just such a sweetie as well. I was devastated when she wasn't, spoiler, but not a spoiler, when she wasn't the final two. Like, she at least deserved to be the final two, if not number one, because you were not there. She deserved to at least be down to the number two. But again, this is the snake. This is a wild twist of a show. I never expected the finale to go down the way that it did, where those that do get eliminated do kind of play a role. So what did you feel about that twist, and how they were so shady to like bump you off so quickly right after you came back?
The twist was cool. The whole snake chain being implemented back into how the finale was chosen. I wish that it was a group consensus, because I think if it was a group consensus, Brett would have won, and I think he deserved to win. There's a lot you don't see in the show, and I think Brett kind of has what they call like a runner-up edit, where they edit out how amazing of a player he was because he didn't win, and he deserved to win. I really think that, and I love Frankie to death, but I said in the show, so I'll always own up to what I did on the show, and I said that Brett deserved to win, and I still stand by that.
Man, I'm so curious to know what those other takes are. That's the one thing I hate about reality TV. There's so much more footage on the production floor that we would love to watch. Hence the reason why some of us really love Big Brother right now, because at least you can watch the live feeds a lot of the time, even though there are like some things left off. But what I would give for some of that footage.
Me too. I mean, I was there, and I'm like, I wish I could watch it back and make different decisions, or just watch. I just want to see everything again. I would do anything to play the game again. I'm just so addicted to the game. But yeah, there's a lot of things that I didn't necessarily agree with in the finale. And also, Derek going out on a dice roll was stupid because he's one of the best players. And someone just commented, Kethryn, you should have dated Jack to make it to the end. I have a boyfriend, and Jack and Mac are happily dating, and he's like my
So funny.
They did hard launch.
Did they hard launch?
Oh, it was so nice to see them hard launch finally, because like everyone's been keeping it a secret, and I know the person that was hardest to keep a secret, it was for Mac and Jack, but
yeah,
you know, and we're all so happy for them. I mean, I want them.
Yay! With so many reality TV breakups over the last week or two, we need some good couples coming together. So, wishing them all the best for sure.
They're so in love. Like, I don't know if they're in love. I shouldn't say that. I don't know if they've said that to each other, but like they're just such a happy like couple that like they just have this authentic passion for each other, and people can say whatever they want. I was there. I know that they are really just so happy.
That's fantastic. I love when that comes out of reality TV shows. That is just such a great kismet, silver lining, especially if it works out.
Yeah, definitely.
In the end.
Because if you don't win the prize money, you win in love, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Kethryn, looking back, what's one thing you wish the edit had shown more of?
I wish I gave more context to why you made certain decisions, because like when we sent Christine home, and it was after I said that, you know, I was going to have her back and I promised to save her. I found out after that she was gunning for me, and she was saying all these horrendous things about me. And so it's like, I changed my mind, everything that she had said, but we had found out everything she had said from different people who I know didn't speak to each other, and they had the same like verbiage, you know? So it was like, I heard the same thing from people who did not like each other. So I know it wasn't something that was made up. And she truly said these horrendous things about me, so I did choose to send her home. And what else? And then I was like, oh, Jack, like, you know, I'll save you. I promise, like, I'll pick you. The boys like knew I was gonna pick Alyssa. Like, we had all spoken about the plan. We knew what the plan was, and they kind of made me look like a weak game player in that moment. And I hated that because we all knew what the plan was except for Christine. John knew he was going to be in the bottom, and John knew we were saving. So, yeah, I hated that part of the edit. That was probably my least favorite. I also kind of wish that they showed more of our personal relationships with each other and how close that we were in the house. We were such a close-knit group, and we still are. Like, we text in our group chat. Well, the people who are still friends, we all text in our group chat like every single day.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's good that afterwards you have that close-knit bond. Was it hard dealing with life afterwards? Like, I know sometimes I hear, like, in the Big Brother house, you come back and you're all paranoid, and your interpersonal relationships, like, you need to be rewired because of what you went through on the show. Was there anything weird like that you had to get used to, so to say?
You know, it's kind of crazy because I didn't think I was going to be one of those people who was psychologically affected by the game, but every single person was. And after the game, I had a really hard time trusting people again, because I felt like anytime someone was talking to me, they were lying to me. There was ulterior motive in what they were saying. Like, I remember my boyfriend I had texted him. I was like, what do you, it was something stupid, like, what do you want for dinner, or what movie do you want to watch tonight? And it was like, whatever you want. And I thought, so I was like, I had a meltdown. And all I said was whatever you want, because he meant whatever you want. And I was thinking in my head, he's so upset, and he's like being passive, and he's going to break up with me. And he gets home and he's like, what? And it wasn't him, it was me. And like the psychological effects that this game had on me. And I felt that.
Like the context.
Yeah, it's weird to explain, but you have to, like, I've been in therapy about it, but I've had a really hard time trusting people since getting out of the game.
I'm happy you're going to therapy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I love that you're speaking, that you're vocal about it too.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this gives, because you're just talking about it now. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. Like, she's open
I'm
about that.
About my mental health struggles. I mean, I've had anxiety and depression since I was 11. You know, it's been chronic for me my whole life. So people should know before they go into a game show the psychological and emotional effects it's going to have on you afterwards, because it is a lot. And that being said, I love the experience, and I would absolutely do it again. But I have had a really hard time just trusting people and their motives since the show.
Yeah, I understand. Speaking of motives and villains, last night in Cover before I was going to bed, Kethryn, you were interviewed by, in my opinion, one of the greatest Bravo villains and table flippers, Teresa Judas from New Jersey. How was that as an experience?
So, you know what's so funny is I love the Housewives, but I've only seen Salt Lake City and
Roni's great. Roni's so good.
She was the villain on the show, and I told her I love the Housewives franchise, and like I hope she doesn't think that I like I don't know, like I was like I don't know anything about her from the show. She was super nice in real life. I had nothing bad to say about her. She was great. Like I had a great interview with her. It was a great experience. She was really nice. She gives good advice, and yeah, so that was a great interview. Definitely go check that one out, because that was so funny. I'm just so unhinged with interviews, like all of them, I think.
I will definitely be watching it later. I watched like 3 minutes. I'm like, no, I need to stop.
Like,
I need to stop because
watch and enjoy that one.
Yes, because I wanted to enjoy today and hear everything from you first. So, what an experience! In just a moment, we're going to be getting into a lightning round of questions with you, but don't forget to like, subscribe, share this live. It helps us keep bringing you more reality TV exclusives. So do all of those things. So let's get into some lightning round questions if you are down for it. And Kimberly, if you want to kick it off, girl.
All right, sure thing. At the first one, here we go. Did you ever practice a cry in the mirror beforehand?
No, natural skill.
Ooh.
Wow. If you could jump on any other reality show tomorrow, which one would it be? Oh, that would be so good.
Agreed. Who's the castmate you'd want to hang out with outside the game? I think we knew that one.
All of them, especially Jordan, though.
There we go.
And who is the biggest snake besides you?
Christine. Like good gameplay or snake in real life?
Let's say
both.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she's not a good game player, so I guess I can't say her. Maybe John.
Okay. Yeah, you were good gameplay, not like snake personality wise, you know.
Who do you think the most authentic player of the cast was?
Jordan.
For sure, without a doubt. And what is your go-to reality TV binge right now?
Flip or Flop. That's what I'm watching with Teresa.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's what my twin sister's watching. Yeah.
I'm watching that right
I haven't done that for a while. Thank you for the idea.
It's just a part of my brain that I just really need.
That explains so much much the reason why you're doing your DIYs right now around your house, ready to redo cabinets. So I should watch that. And one more lightning round of question, although it might be a little bit more lengthy, knowing you are a Roni lover and you also live in New York. OG ladies, new ladies. And then I'm going to have a follow-up question afterwards.
OG ladies, Bethany Frankel, I always say,
Yeah.
Jordan and I's relationship is like Jill and Bethany's when they were friends. Like,
I love that. That's cute.
And I am Bethany, and that just explains everything you need to know. But yeah.
Yeah, that is a very good comparison. So what do you think Roni would mean now in order to work? What do you think is the right dynamic as reality TV lover? And knowing you live and breathe New York, it is a part of your DNA. What do you think would be the right formula?
Less influencers, more people who are not mentally stable. AKA me. Please make me a housewife.
Well, then your man needs to be putting a ring on it.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Oh, yay. And no pressure to him. No pressure.
Lots of pressure if you're watching this, Michael.
See, look,
Pressure everyone. Share, comment. Put the pressure on.
Michael to propose to me now.
That would be amazing. Amazing. Awesome, everyone. This is kind of bringing us to the end. As a reminder, I'm Danielle Peterson. You can find me at Dani Gossip Girl. I am the host of Pop Culture Expose, and Kimberly and I also host weekly The Villa Download. And Kimberly, take it away.
All right, and that's a wrap for today's live interview with Kethryn from The Snake. And what an interesting and such a fun conversation too. From casting secrets to game-changing strategies and all the drama in between. She truly gave us an inside scoop, and we greatly appreciate you for it. So I actually want to go rewatch.
Yeah, for sure.
You watched it the first time, and then you process it, but now it's like now that I've got even more insight and saw it, like I really want to go watch it.
You should.
More.
I'm probably gonna go do the same now that I know what I know.
Yeah, right. So, Kethryn, can you remind everyone on where to follow you and anything additional you would like to share as we wrap this up today?
Sure. So my TikTok and Instagram are Kethryn, KETHRYYN. You guys can follow me there. And yeah, last thing I want to say is remember, everybody on TV is a real person, and you're only seeing snippets of their life, mental health effects from the show. So that's what I have to say.
Well said, and that is something Kimberly and I are such big advocates of, especially when we covered Love Island, and there's a lot that went down this summer, and you see what it does to everyone, but we could not agree with you more, Kethryn, and we cannot say thank you enough as well for your time today and this opportunity, and for giving us some really good TV.
I know. I'm on a
to
high
watch
right now. I don't know about you, but I'm on even more of a high after this interview.
I'm glad I could give that to you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, of course. But thank you for joining us live, dropping your comments, and being a part of the fun. If you love this, again, make sure to subscribe, share with your friends, and check out our other interviews and recaps on both of our channels. Until next time, this is Dani and Kimberly signing off. And remember, in reality TV, expect the unexpected.